And even if they do, I mean, take the 2015 team, for example, that won the World Series. How is that team really going to match up against the Red Sox, Yankees, and Astros of 2018?
They're not. Like they were good defensively and they were extremely fast on the bases. That's how they won baseball games.
Yeah, and their bullpen was pretty good.
Yeah, the bullpen was locked out.
Yeah.
They were extremely clutch too.
Oh, they were like ridiculously clutch. Like they won a couple games that they had no business winning.
Right, especially the Game 5
A
against
2014
Houston.
wild card game.
Yes, against Oakland.
Yeah.
Yep, against John Lester, down
Yeah.
7-3 or something like that in the 8th inning.
Man.
How brutal was that to trade for Lester, and then not make it past the wild card?
Have him pitch pretty good, and then your bullpen blows it.
Right. Yeah, that's absolutely brutal. But getting over to this Texas series, we may as well just kind of go through it right now. Erod gets the Game 1 start in that series against Mike Minor. Minor had a decent start, didn't he? But it's kind of... Oh, actually, well, he's been very good in his last few games. 1.89 ERA. Sorry. Yeah, so he's got a 4.63 ERA, but I don't know. I mean, are we catching him at the right time? Or
yeah, he's 3-1 in his last 7. He's got a 3.56 ERA, so he's not pitching bad lately. But I mean, it's not a bad time to catch him. Honestly, I mean, he's not a very good pitcher.
How is Texas hitting right now? Because I know Profar has been relatively hot.
Profar is...
Yeah, he homered again today.
Yeah, he is awesome. Love Profar. Chu's got his 47 on-base streak coming in. Other than that, Joey Gallo's still mashing balls to places where he shouldn't be. They tried to give Houston a little run for their money, and then they got put back in their place. But
what about Beltre? What's going on with him?
They're talking about a lot. Apparently 5 teams have called about it, and he basically said if they do trade him, it'll be like the Chapman deal. He comes back to Texas next year.
But he won't get that kind of a haul though for him.
No.
Yeah.
No, but he'll come back because he wants to finish his career as a Ranger.
Yeah. Would Cleveland...
What a colossal mistake that was, not re-signing him.
Oh,
yeah.
I know.
What a great year from Beltre, too, that year.
That was 2010, and Euclid was the third baseman in 2011, had a good year until he hurt his thumb and was out for the year, and then that was it. Like, literally it.
That's when the Red Sox black hole at third base started, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you kind of had some fool's gold there with Middlebrooks. Yeah, but... Yeah, and, I mean, Devers has been grinding. Like, he does well enough to keep himself on the big league roster, but he goes through these ups and downs, and it's kind of encouraging that he does grind his way out of it, but, you'd like to see some consistency, though.
Dave says it all the time,
though. Like, situations.
He's improving consistently on defense, and that's like the most important thing for me to see, because that was like the big thing with Devers coming in. Is he going to be able to play third base at a major league level? And he's shown me these past couple months that he can't.
Right. And
a lot of people compare him to Beltre. When Beltre first came up, he was a bigger guy, and he wasn't very good defensively, but he kept working at it. I mean, Beltre is an above-average third baseman.
Yeah, he's a vacuum defensively at third base.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
a future Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Got Giovanni Gallardo game too.
Yes, and that's what I was getting at, and that's against. We're assuming Velasquez, but that's not official yet.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Hector.
I'd love it.
Apparently, it's between Velasquez and Cuevas.
Okay. Yeah, Cuevas, So he's been getting starts at Pawtucket then.
He must.
Okay, I didn't know if he was typically a reliever or a starter, but
I thought he was just a reliever.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was under the assumption for.
Okay, well that's kind of what I thought as well. So, but he was called up last season, wasn't he? At various points.
Feels like he's been called up a bunch.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I just feel like So I mean, in all likelihood, it should be Vazquez because I just feel like he's conditioned better for it. I just hope his back is healthy enough to go a full start because, I mean, who do you have for long relief after him?
I mean, you really don't.
Yeah.
Especially with Brian on the disabled list, that doesn't help at all.
Right. And Henry hasn't been stellar, so he's not a guy I'd want to turn to.
The good news is you probably shouldn't have to use the bullpen the next night that much.
True.
Just because Chris Sale is Chris Sale.
But on the flip side of the coin, you might be using it in game one with Erod.
Yeah.
So,
depending on which Erod shows up.
Yeah. Although I wonder if Cuevas can go multiple innings in long relief, so maybe that's part of the logic.
It's a possibility.
They brought another kid up too. I don't remember the kid's name. They brought him
Brazier?
up. He was in the bullpen today. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been closing for Pawtucket apparently. But he hasn't made a major league appearance since 2013.
Right.
It's crazy.
Brazier?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, who knows? I mean, Kelly left, Saturday's game because he was lightheaded. So, I don't know. I mean, our bullpen might be having its issues right now.
This bullpen is just, I honestly, you can spin the wheel, and the only one I trust in that entire bullpen is Craig Kimball.
Because even Kelly's been spattering lately.
Yeah.
But it's not even that those, like, it's numbers aside, in a big pressure situation, it feels like those guys can't get big outs. And maybe Kelly might be the exception to that rule. And Barnes, if he could ever stop walking people, he would be a very effective reliever. But he puts too many men on base. His opponent's batting average is like 154, but then he walks like 1 per 9. It's like, what are you doing, guy?
Well, he's stellar when it comes to inherited runners, though. I don't think he's allowed a single run.
He has a decent amount of holds.
Yeah, exactly. So that's at least encouraging because you need a guy like that to come out of the pen.
I just hate the fact that he gets himself into problems.
Right.
Yeah, like, every time Matt Barnes is on the mound, like, my heart starts beating a little faster.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, this is his best year, though, by far. So, I don't know. You just hope he gets it right. And we still have the rest of the month to maybe make a move to bring someone else in if the confidence isn't very high with Thornburg by that point. But going over to Wednesday's start, though, we have Chris Sale.
Fun.
Yeah, Chris Sale versus Bartolo Colon. So,
Walking museum.
Oh, man. That guy just defies every...
Yeah. He's got, like... It's amazing.
I mean, he pounds probably pizza and pasta like nobody's business. He's probably...
And I feel like he would admit it.
If
they were asking, like, what's your pregame meal? He'd be like, just pizza and beer, man. Come on.
I think so. I mean, nothing about him by physical appearance resembles anything to do with an athlete. So,
yeah, former Cy Young winner Bartolo Colon. There's only one Cy Young winner pitching in this game.
And
it's kind of similar to Brett Favre. He used to just do painkillers and beer.
Yeah. All the time. All he needs to do is, like, retire and unretire a couple times.
Yeah.
Everything about Bartolo is fat, though. His face is fat. His neck is fat.
He looks like a Snapchat filter. That's the best way that I can put it.
Yeah, that's perfect, actually. Yeah, and I mean, unless our lineup is just goofy by that point, I mean, that's an extremely winnable game, I would say.
Yeah, he scares me. That's the type of pitcher that destroys the Red Sox, though. Someone that throws a lot of strikes and gets a lot of ground balls.
Right.
A heavier male CCU Sabathia mold.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a great observation because, I mean, he owns us. But the one thing about Bartolo, though, is he's at least a righty. So,
oh, yeah.
We don't have that working against us. If that were the case, I'd be like, oh, it's going to be a pitcher's duel for sure. But I think, though, the Red Sox will probably...
I think you take 3.
Yeah. Game 1 is a little scary, though, because Minor has been pitching very well lately, and Erod not so much. Although, how was Erod in his last start? Allowing 3 hits, no runs.
Feels like forever ago.
Yeah. Yeah, he pitched 6 innings against the Nationals, and basically, pitched a gem for 6 innings. So, yeah, maybe he's out of his funk then.
He just throws so many pitches. Like, he picks an inning to throw 25 pitches.
Yeah, and
every start.
I feel like this Texas lineup can still mash, too. So, I mean...
They strike out a lot, too, besides Shu.
Yeah, Gallo especially.
They're eerily like the Royals when it comes to that.
Yeah.
They swing a lot.
And Gallardo
to compare any team to the Royals, that's not a good thing ever.
Yeah, no. I mean, I live here. Like, I have to watch that Texas team every now and then when there's nothing else on. It's not pretty.
Right, yeah. And it's too bad because, I mean, they were so good for so long. And it's crazy how franchises can just be shells of themselves. I feel so bad for Kansas City fans because they kind of came out of nowhere, and before they knew it, the whole empire had crumbled, and
it's like the honeymoon was over, basically.
Yeah, it was just so quick, and I was just so happy for that fan base that they got a World Series because, I mean, who saw that coming, like, in 2013? If after Game 6 actually, against the Red Sox and the Cardinals, what if I told you that in the next 12 World Series games, the Kansas City Royals will be playing them? We'll be. I would have
told you stop drinking. Like,
I know,
get out of here.
Exactly. So, and it happened. So, I mean, that just speaks to how no one saw it coming, and it was just crazy.
Well, and they justified the wild card game, basically. That year where they came back against Oakland and wound up their way to the World Series, it showed everything that fans needed to see, basically, for the wild card game.
Right. Yeah. And then, of course, last year... was a year like no other. So
I'll say one thing too about Kansas City is that team that brought the World Series home for them and everything. They mortgaged a lot of their future, like a lot of their prospects in the Johnny Cueto deal and
Zobrist.
All kinds of things like that. Yeah, Zobrist deal. But they won the World Series, so it was worth it. And you know what? Like, some of these franchises, they win a World Series and no one cares about the team. Arizona Diamondbacks, right? Yeah. Look at Kansas City. That was almost full today. Yeah, I know there were some empty seats, but I mean, that's a bad Royals team. That is a wretched Royals team, and there was still a lot of Royals fans there. They have a lot of Red Sox fans. But
they have one of the best fan bases in baseball. It doesn't matter how bad that team is. Kauffman's going to be filled up, basically. They're not like Miami or a Tampa or an Oakland.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I feel bad